At the Team Automotive Group, we make it easy for you to buy here or sell here. Buy here and save on hundreds of certified and pre-owned vehicles. Or sell here while your vehicle is worth more than it ever has been, and we'll pay you top value. Buy here or sell here at the Team Automotive Group.
That would be concerning and maybe set a precedent moving forward.
If you have plans to be outside, you might hit a couple of these little passing showers.
A drug bust and a few arrests made. Look at what they hauled in here. Well, good morning to you, everybody. Thanks so much for being with us here on WAFB and 9 News Now, WAFB Plus. It's kind of stepping you through the rest of your day. See, these are those days where this kind of streaming tech and the news kind of continuing, it really can be beneficial because we're in the middle of one of those days where you could be impacted depending on that drive to work, what's the rest of the day going to look like, weather, the headline maker. This is a live look right now, courtesy of our Sky 9 camera network, looking down onto S and the interstate beyond, the skyline, the horizon to come. It is the weather making the headlines, so we should need to start with Dr. Steve Caparata. It was a lot of rain moving through here early this morning, Steve. We're going to get a little bit of a break and then get ready for another round?
Yeah, it looks that way. Now, round number 2, I don't think is going to impact everybody later. It'll be a little more scattered, but still need to be ready for that potential. Here's what we're tracking on our first alert radar network right now. The leading edge of these heavy storms quickly racing off to the east, now moving through southern Tangipahoa. Hope Harris has moved east of I-55, and a pretty intense cluster over Lake Maurepas about to cross into Lake Pontchartrain this hour. Still heavy rain, though, ongoing across much of Livingston Parish, especially near and south of I-12 at this hour. Coming closer to Baton Rouge, things are starting to wind down. 1.78 inches of rain here at Channel 9, all fell in the course of 2 hours, but you can see some of that heavy rain. Prairieville extending up to the town of Livingston, up around Holden as well. And then we take you south. There's another cluster of storms here in Terrebonne Parish moving off to the east. So from near Houma, Chauvin, and extending down to around Cocodrie, going to have some storms rolling through here over the next, say, 30 to 45 minutes. Here's the estimated rainfall. Heaviest rains kind of focus along 190 this morning as we bring in closer. So from around 190 in Baton Rouge westward, you can see some of these pockets of green, which indicates 2 to 3, maybe even 3 to 4 inches of rain in some isolated spots. A couple of pockets of green now showing up in Livingston Parish as well. So indeed, we have seen some locally heavy rainfall through the morning. Only one warning that we had through the overnight and early this morning. We had a flash flood warning, St. Landry Parish, a little bit of St. Martin. That was allowed to expire, actually canceled early. So good news on that front. Live look on Essen Lane this morning. So our Sky 9 camera on top of Our Lady of the Lake. Sometimes we can have issues with standing water in Essen, but right now the good news is looks like things are moving along fine. Not really seeing any standing water there. Now, especially where these rains have come down near and north of the interstates, temperatures a little bit rain cooled, mid to upper 60s. South of I-10, we're in the low to mid 70s, awfully muggy. Gonzales 73, Baton Rouge at 68. So back to Matt's point here, a bit of a lull as the morning progresses through the remainder of the morning for most of us. Lunchtime, I've got rain chances around 20%, temperatures in the low 80s, but this afternoon, some scattered storms return. Rain chances 50 to 60% in the afternoon, highs topping out mid to upper 80s. All right, here's a look at it on future radar. And it looks like we got an updated run. Man, every run, it's kind of hit and miss on the guidance right now. But bottom line is this initial wave is going to move east. I do agree at noon that maybe just a few isolated showers. And then you see into the afternoon, scattered storms redeveloping. That's 3 o'clock. We'll see some more storms developing here. That's 5 o'clock. And still some more popping up into the evening. Might be a little more widespread than what was shown there. Keep the rain gear handy as we work our way through the remainder of today. And still at least a low-end threat of some severe weather. Much of our area under a 1 out of 5 marginal risk. The primary concerns being hail and damaging winds in a stronger storm. So we'll keep an eye on it. So it's kind of a tricky pattern right now. High pressure center just to our south, and along the northern periphery of that high, it looks like periodically we're going to have these little disturbances rotate through. So one came out of Texas overnight and this morning. That's what prompted and helped these storms develop. And we still might see another feature rotate in later on today. Now the 7-day rainfall outlook, showing 1 to 2.5 inches of rain on average the next 7 days. But keep in mind, some of us got that much this morning. So these are average totals and probably need to be bumped up a bit as you get closer to the coast. Those totals expected to be a bit lighter. All right, so more rain expected this afternoon. As I said, it's not going to be everywhere, but scattered rains. A 60% chance tomorrow. Sunday down to a 30% chance. With that, closer to 90 for a high on Sunday. And next week, it's going to be summer-like, hot, upper 80s to near 90. Scattered storms each and every day. Rain chances running 40 to 50%. All right, almost 7:08 now. So far, even with all this rain, traffic seems like it hadn't been too bad. Johnny, how's it looking right now?
Steve, that's pretty accurate. We have no problems with the underpass at Acadian. We had a problem on I-10 with a wreck right here blocking the left lane before College. Remember, with all that construction there at the 10-12 merge, that left lane is no longer available as a shoulder. It's actually a travel lane, so there's no place to move over. They did clear that, but we still have ugly backups all the way almost to Segan Lane. As you can see, that's Picardy right beneath the at the bottom of your camera shot right there. And we can definitely see that traffic all the way from that point backwards towards Segan Lane. One more quick update. In Plaquemine, the power has been restored for the most part. I think some phone services are still down. Dion's been keeping an eye on that in our alert center. And Matt's in Studio B at 7:08 with brief morning headlines this morning. Matt?
Johnny A. stealing my thunder, quite literally. We're going to get to that in a quick second. But yeah, Johnny and this guy right here you just saw are going to be the headline makers this morning, and as they should be on a day like this, letting you know what's coming through. So at WAFB.com and your 9 News app, Dr. Steve's got everything laid out, everything that's already happened this morning, everything we anticipate happening the rest of the morning into the rest of the day. You can find the full forecast, all the technology that he has, you get access to right here, WAFB.com and your 9 News app. Now, this is exactly what Johnny was talking about. This is what Dion was working on earlier this morning. I don't know if you know this. I don't know who knows this. When we talk about power outages, a lot of the big power player down here is Entergy. We got Demco as well. Plaquemine, the city of Plaquemine has their own, in fact. They're part of the cooperative, but they have their own, in fact. And they actually took a hit today that knocked out power to a few of their critical pieces of infrastructure. It's back on. That's what Johnny was talking about. That is back on, so this headline is going to be changing right pretty quick. But phone services, some of them are still out down there in Plaquemine, so just a heads up for you. That's what's going on as this line of storms moves through. Okay, other headlines. This, for folks who have kids going to a middle school up in Zachary, there's no class for you today. We're talking about, of course, this arrest actually made. This was a possible threat made online by a 7th grader, allegedly. And so what they were able to actually act pretty fast. Northwestern Middle School, a school resource officer actually found this threat online and was able to give a heads up to folks there, and an arrest was made. And again, we're talking about a 7th grader who allegedly made these threats, booked into East Baton Rouge juvenile detention. So that was Wednesday night into Thursday. Today's classes canceled, campus closed, out of an abundance of caution for both students and teachers alike. So that's why you may, of course, see a little less traffic out in that part of the world. Parents with kids who go to that school clearly know what's going on right now. But we'll keep you abreast of anything new that comes from that as we kind of move through the day. But yeah, no classes there, no school there in Zachary. You know this face? I'm sure actually fans of American Idol probably do. Fantasia? Well, she and her husband actually in town talking about a new program to help at-risk youth. It's something they're trying to move through the entire state. They've got it in certain parishes right now. They're looking to expand it to a number of other parishes in South Louisiana, hoping to expand it to East Baton Rouge as well a little bit later on, maybe a couple years down the line. But if you want to read a little bit more about their program, what it involves, who the target is truly, who they're actually hoping to focus on, the story's right there waiting for you. But yeah, with a name like Fantasia attached to this and her husband really kind of backing this and really getting it going, get some attention. It's right there waiting for you. This is going on. Actually, they open up today, new tubing company out there in, well, you know this part of the world. Right there, Livingston Parish. Coming to Livingston Parish, officials making sure the owners, of course, are going to follow some strict rules because of everything that happened previously. This is unconnected to the current, of course, Cajun tubing and kayaking you see right there. Again, set to open up this morning. Now, The weather may have a say in that as it kind of moves through. A little bit of break today, this afternoon, and then whatever happens this evening. Set to open up this morning. Make that phone call, check the text messages. But yeah, tubing back in the works there in Livingston Parish. A lot of folks want to get out there and hit the tubes, hit the kayaks, so that may be quick and coming. All right, time to crown a new crawfish king, folks. A lot going on this weekend. That includes today. Crawfish King Cook-Off 2023 is going to be going at it. Let me show you a little bit here. Obviously, this is what you're looking for right there. It's downtown. Begins at 4 o'clock. The gates open at 4 o'clock anyway. Runs until all the crawfish run out. And you got about 12,000 pounds of crawfish being cooked up by better than 30 teams, all looking to be crowned Crawfish King. So again, head on a swivel with the weather. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more miss than hit out there. Everybody looking for a good time. You can find the full story. Callie Hubbard was talking about it live this morning. It's right there waiting for you. And right next to that, live after 5, right next to, this is what makes this particular Friday, if the weather behaves, this is what makes this particular Friday so much fun. All that crawfish, all that music, right next door to each other. It's a gigantic party in downtown Baton Rouge that goes on from like 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 o'clock. Great time, weather permitting, and it's going to be a lot of fun down there in downtown Baton Rouge. Again, got to get through it all. And then, oh, by the way, Cinco de Mayo. There's a lot, there's a lot to celebrate on a Friday here in South Louisiana. Yes, Cinco de Mayo is more celebrated in America than it is in Mexico, but grab the margaritas very responsibly and make your way over to a party and enjoy all of that. Maybe it's downtown Baton Rouge. We'll see. Actually, we need to talk a little bit more about that forecast, because with the Crawfish King Cook-Off, with Live After 5, with Cinco de Mayo plans, Steve, there's a lot of folks who want to get out and be a part of all this. Just have the weather app handy so they know what's coming.
Can't handle the pressure, man. What are you doing to me? Yeah, so this is definitely going to be an afternoon and evening with all those things going on, where you want to keep our app handy, as you said, because I think what we get this afternoon, later today, probably won't be as widespread. It's going to be scattered about, so we can't pinpoint neighborhood to neighborhood right at a given time. It's going to be some radar watching, no doubt. Just be ready for that potential.
Johnny, you follow the drive obviously very, very closely. Did we get any of those trouble spots ponding up, Acadian underpass, that kind of thing, or was it moving quick?
Yeah, no, it's moving so fast, but when you get a lot of rain like that, you do get some ponding water, and there is ponding of water on I-10 between Bluebonnet and Essen in that left lane, not creating a huge problem, but slow it down, and reminding people, don't use your emergency flashers when you're driving in a thunderstorm, only when you're off to the side.
Controversial topic.
It is.
Yeah, it very, very much is. All right, folks, keep it right where you got it, streaming. We'll see you on the mothership, WAFB Plus, in a quick minute as well. Y'all enjoy the Friday.